And now, ladies and gentlemen,
Put your thumbs up and say it's TicketyBoo.
TicketyBoo.
TicketyBoo, TicketyBoo, everything's TicketyBoo.
TicketyBoo, son. TicketyBoo.
TicketyBoo. Welcome to TicketyBoo, the podcast where we talk about life, struggles, well-being, and all the stuff in between. I'm Andy, and I'm here with Ian and Iona, and today we're exploring the fear of being judged and how that shapes the way that we show up in our lives and in the world. Isn't it bonkers how we hold ourselves back because we're worried what other people will think? It's like we have this invisible audience. We were talking about our audiences in the last episode there, like they're always watching us. Has there been a point in your lives where you worried about doing something or not doing something and how that might look to the world around you?
It's definitely varied depending on the age I was. And I think definitely as a teenager and in my 20s, caring so much and being so scared of being judged. I didn't know that that's what it was at the time. But I mean, if I go even to more recent years, I think it was when I was releasing my first book. I knew I was going to get judged by strangers, and there was a lot of fear around that. And so that wasn't what scared me, but what scared me more was being judged by my friends and my peers. And there were one or two people who did say, well, who are you to do this? And I was like, oh, heck no. Like, if you can't be in my corner, like, I can't have this, because I knew I was being really vulnerable to put myself out there, and yes, I chose to still do it, and I knew the judgment could possibly be brutal.
But do you not find that we tend to act as though we're constantly being judged? Like we've been judged, we've been mortally wounded, and now we're trying to avoid that at all costs, but in reality it's never really happened like that.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's like an imaginary set of circumstances. Like, you know, if you released your book and you've been trolled within an inch of your life, you'd kind of sort of go, well, there's a bit of logic behind it. But in reality, that's not the reality. We worry so much about stuff that actually hasn't really happened.
However, and also that fear of judgment can stop us living our dreams, can stop us doing the big project.
Yeah.
And I think that's more whereas, yes, I knew I was going to be judged and I chose to do it anyway. You with your projects, Andy, you with your businesses, fear can actually stamp us down, keep us small, have us not make changes. So I think I would always encourage everyone, feel the fear and do it anyway. Now, fear can be a warning sign not to do it. Like, don't cross the road. There's a busy street. However, I think we really get to embrace fear and do those things, because fear and excitement feel the same. I've talked about that before. But it's like, why do we let fear hold us back so much?
It's a great thing to think about, isn't it? What would you do differently with your life if there was no fear?
It would be, you'd be limitless, which you actually are.
Yeah.
But
I think there's a difference between, we're not talking about being reckless here, are we?
No.
We are. When I'm talking about fear, I'm generally talking about the stories that we tell ourselves around making changes and doing things.
yeah, definitely. It's that, I mean, that fear, it's if I fail, what will people think?
Yeah.
So part of that fear of failure is fear of judgment. And then it's constantly having a show on in front of people, and it's exhausting having to have a facade and a show because the environment that you're in makes you feel that you can't relax and be yourself without fear of judgment.
Yeah. I remember when I first sort of stepped out into the therapy world, and I've obviously been known from like the other world, and I had this real fear of revealing it to my audience, because they were like, hang on a minute, you don't do that, you do this. And like, at the time you gave me quite a push to kind of go out on socials. I think don't get me wrong, I did have a small amount of people going like, what are you doing? Why do you think you can do that? Who are you to do that? And at that early stage, that was, I felt it. It knocked my confidence. Today I'm at a point going, I find it weird that you're even asking me that question. Yeah. What's wrong with you?
Interesting, because you and I both had somebody or person say, who are you to do this? Because as soon as we're trying to make a change, and I think that's something I would love our listeners to take away, is when you have that, it just shows that you're about to make a change, and people are judging you, and that's okay, because they don't want you to change, or they want to keep you comfortable with them, sometimes for no other reason that they're worried for you.
Or do we just get to the place that they're going to judge you anyway?
Yeah.
So just do
Much
it.
more so.
Yeah. Very much so.
Yeah, it's that classic phrase, isn't it? What people say behind your back's none of your business anyway. So just stop worrying about it. But I think we spent, what will they think? What will they be? I can just see them now.
Yeah. But a lot of the time, I mean, is fear of judgment from people actually, the people's reactions to you, the things that they say, the naysayers, the people. Now, for me, they're not people to have in my circle, really, because the people that tend to knock you down when you want to achieve something you want to change, they're the ones that never go anywhere, but it makes them reflect on themselves, and their reactions are about them, not about you. So if you live your life, successful people and strong people don't judge. They help those around them grow.
Yeah,
And that's
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're doing it themselves, so they're not going to put anybody down. They recognise that. They're making changes. So,
and there's that analogy about the seed. Whereas, if we're all gardeners, somebody plants a seed and that seed's got all the potential and everything in it needs. The only thing that will dictate how that seed grows into a plant, a flower, whatever it's going to be, is the environment that it's in.
Yeah.
And that's very true with people. They can suffocate you there, they can suffocate you with ideas, they can really douse your life force and your enthusiasm and take away your why or challenge it.
So, what happens then when you just start to live as yourself?
Well, that's where the good stuff really starts to happen.
It's liberating. It's freeing. Like you feel invincible and unstoppable,
But you need to move through that feeling of insecurity, not good enough, worried about being shunned, laughed at. What we're saying is that for me, doing what I did, I had to go through that feeling of that.
Well, going through that is what gives you the confidence to stand out there and do it now. However, it is something we need to go through as much as we can tell ourselves, like conceptually. But yeah, we have to go through it because we get to prove it to ourselves, and then we have the muscle memory. Oh, like I've done this before. I can do this. I can go out there. I can be vulnerable. I can be visible. I can do the thing I've always wanted to do.
That's it. And overcoming all those different things that you've just said, whether it's confidence, overthinking, whatever. Every time you break away from one of those ties, you just feel lighter, and you move. Your confidence grows, and you just get to move quicker and quicker, and that's where all the really good stuff in, and you start to really enjoy life because
100%.
it's all part of that becoming that more authentic version of you.
It's that realization that you were caring more about what others thought.
Yeah, and the reality is, other people just do not care.
Too busy wrapped up in their own lives.
Well, yeah, they've got their own stuff going, and most of their judgment is about them. And it's like, for example, if you say, I don't want to drink, and you go into the pub and you say, I don't want to drink, there'll always be a number of people that will say to you, go on, have a drink.
Right,
you know you want one. And the reason for that, it's not because they're considering you in any way, shape or form. They feel bad about drinking on their own.
Yeah.
It's about them, not about you, and not about encouraging your goals. So if you're taking judgment from people like that, well, you're really looking in the wrong place.
So this fear of being judged really says more about our self-perception rather than the actual opinions of the other person.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, if they accept me, I can be okay.
Yeah.
Again,
That's external, which we've talked about.
So we're living our lives almost like this playbook that was written by others that actually means that we're not living in a way that's in line with who we are and what we're about and what we want to do.
No, it's all been written by them on their terms.
Yeah.
About their life and about how you make them feel. Well, that's actually irrelevant. Your life is your life, and how you feel and how you move and how you feel about yourself. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
It's like they say, it's your book, and you get to write the chapters.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. So letting that go just dropping the rope and just going, do you know what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
And just seeing what happens. Is that where it starts?
Yes. The simple answer, yes.
Just press the F it button and do it
Yeah.
anyway?
Yes.
I find any time when I start to have that fear of being judged, then I'm about to do something really exciting. If I don't, it means I'm staying comfortable and I'm repeating. And I get slightly bored. I like to be doing new things, new projects, and that excites me. But if I give in to that fear, then I won't do it. And then I'll have nothing to say on the podcast.
Well, I remember starting the podcast and
Yeah.
doing that whole, I don't know if I really want to do this because people will go, he hasn't got a clue
And
what
here
he's
you are,
talking
coming
about.
up to nearly 100 episodes soon.
Yeah, and getting away with it.
Yeah.
No, but you do, I think it's, you could sit there and go, oh, what if people think it's rubbish? Or what if they laugh at me? Or what if it falls flat on his face? So what? So what?
Yeah. What's the worst that will happen? So what?
If people are going to talk, they'll talk.
They're going to talk anyway.
But like you said, Ian, the real ones, the real people, they'll adjust with you and come on that journey and they will champion you and they'll lift you
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's the best way to tell. It's those that sort of celebrate your winnings with you. How when you win, they celebrate you, and they don't sort of poo-poo your ideas. They don't try and find the negative or cut short your wins. They love it. They love to see you win. They love to see you celebrate. And then you start to get this environment where you can be around people without judgment. And that's when we get down to that selection of people. We've got loads of friends, loads of acquaintances, but it's those few that you've got on that one. You could count on one hand. You're in a circle, and the reason that there is because you can say nothing at any. Sorry, you can say anything at any time, and judgment is never on the table.
Yeah.
Do we feel a big part of this is when we're talking about the fear of being judged? It's also if you're going to make a choice to go in a different direction or do something different, that may lead you to, I don't want to say letting people down, but telling people you're not doing something anymore or you're doing things differently, and there's their reaction to that. So many of us get trapped and stuck in this doing what's expected of us because we don't want to let other people down or, we don't want that unnecessary attention.
And a lot of people will see your change as a conflict, but that's not on you.
It's theirs.
That's
theirs to
theirs
own.
to carry. Absolutely.
Yeah, it is theirs to carry. So, in the nicest way, you've got to be a bit ruthless, haven't you? With yourself
Yes.
and your own honesty, and really lean into the discomfort and just do it. Just step into it, because nobody wants to be lying on their deathbed going, oh, if I just didn't care so much about what they said, I could have done all of these things. And, I know some insanely clever, talented people that are just dimming their light down because they're more concerned about what the world will think about them. And they're not living their true life. Yeah. And that's a real shame, isn't it?
Yeah, but, I mean, in some ways, I probably do let some people influence me still, but I don't do it in the way that I let them dull my light. I'll prove them wrong. I'll show them. I'll go out and do that thing that they told me I can't do. And that I turn that same energy into a positive, because I see it as an opportunity to challenge myself, and that they're almost laying down a bar for me to, to push past that thing that they said. Well, to push past the limit that they've placed upon me. I mean, who is anybody else to place limits on me and what I can do, and then cast judgment on it? It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I haven't found my limits, and I'll keep pushing until I find them. So, who is somebody that has potentially never achieved or never actually looked at the world through my eyes? Who are they to place those limits on me in that judgment? And I won't allow their judgment to be my limits.
Yeah, I like that.
It's just bizarre to me.
No, I think that's a great point.
Yeah,
I do think it's a great point. Hopefully, this has given you something to think about. If you think about what might be holding you back because you're worried what others will think or say. If you genuinely have good intentions and you're wanting to better yourself and change your life, ask yourself the question, what would happen if you let that worry go? And what about if you just did it anyway with that worry bin there? Because do you know what? It could turn out to be the best thing that you ever do. And the real people, they will show up for you, they'll champion you, they'll encourage you. And if there's anyone around you who does the opposite, well, they don't deserve a seat at the table.
100% agreed.
Yeah, yes. You have to just let them go. Okay. It was a good little chat.
I think it was.
Really good chat. As always, we appreciate you watching these episodes, whether they're an hour long, 15 minutes long, or 20 minutes long. We're always trying to get some kind of value in there and insights into our own worlds and struggles. If you're watching on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple, please click that subscribe, follow icon. And please do drop us a comment if there's something we've said in the episode that resonated with you, or actually something you'd like us to discuss or you'd like to share with us. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching.
If you or someone close to you needs to access mental health support, please contact your GP, or if it's out with normal office hours, get in touch with NHS 24 on 111. Alternatively, contact the Samaritans on 116 123. All calls are free of charge from any phone. You can also find more support information on the TicketyBoo website, ticketyboopodcast.co.uk.